What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel Patrol in Motion, a place for busy people and dream chasers looking to achieve their goals in a more efficient way. So if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Ira and I do project management, self-improvement and an occasional lifestyle video. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if that sounds like good content to you. And to my lovely subscribers coming back for another video, thank y'all. Let's get straight into this one. All right guys, so today, and you can probably tell from the title of the video, we are talking about moving roles. And more importantly, I want this to be about decision making and how to make good decisions. One thing I could definitely say is, as an adult, as you're adulting, as you're entering this more ghetto side of life where you actually have to be responsible for things, you're gonna have to make some really good decisions. And deciding what role you stay in to progress your career for whatever reason is very important. You might be in a position where you've in a current role, it's not doing so bad and you're not hating it, but you've been headhunted, you know, by somebody to come to a different role, or you've just been offered another role intentionally and you're wondering whether to take it. A lot of people can be in that position, and usually the deciding factor is the shamanis. I get it. Money is a big thing. We need to talk about it more. A lot of people make it sound like money isn't the end all, and I'm here to say it isn't. However, it's a big part of what we need to keep this life rolling on. If you have been offered another role at a higher salary, that's really great, but I'm here to give you some things to consider before just taking that role because it's on a higher salary. I've also been in positions where I've been headhunted and I'm really comfortable with where I'm at, but I've been headhunted and they're willing to pay me more, but I've had to think twice about it because listen, not all that glitters is gold. Money is one thing, but it's not the end all. So let's get into some of those things that you should consider before jumping to a new role because of the money. Let's quickly talk about money and why people generally leave a role for a higher salary. Now, if you are on a low salary, I can fully understand and I totally get it. If someone's offering you 10 bags or 20 bags, sorry, 10,000 or 20,000 more, and you want to take it, I hear it. There's bills to pay. There is bills to pay. That might be your main driving factor. But eventually, as you progress in your career, there will come times in life where you're actually on a higher salary, and money is not the only thing that you should consider, or more so, it's not your main worry at the time. You can cover your bills, you have money to do other things that you would like to do. Money is not your main motivation for leaving, and it shouldn't be. I feel like I'm in a stage in life where, don't get me wrong, I'm still trying to make this money because I like nice things, but money is not the only motivating factor once you're able to cover your bills and do all the other things you want to do. So let's get it popping, guys. Now, the first thing to consider is, how big is the salary increase really? And I say really because there's something called tax in this land that once that is taken away from your paycheck, how much are you actually left with? Is it as much as you truly think it is? And a lot of people think it is. They think, okay, cool, £10,000 increase, and that's a great amount of money. I'll be taking home about maybe like £800, £900, maybe, depending on what salary bracket you're on. But in the UK, the way things are set up, I don't think you will. Before jumping at a higher salary, try to make sure that you can't also get a much higher salary elsewhere, but also try to consider whether it is even worth the jump in terms of the additional effort and the additional work that you will need to do. Is it really worth the extra, what may be only £200, £300 extra that you're taking home each month? Remember, with a new role, generally comes new responsibilities with that price tag. You got to make sure it's correlating. Otherwise, you're better off just staying where you are. Next thing to consider is the benefits that your current workplace is offering you versus where you're considering to go. A lot of people don't see this as monetary benefits, but in the long run, it really is. Just because you don't see it in your bank account today doesn't mean it doesn't count towards something. An example of that is pension. How much is your current employer contributing towards your pension? If your current employer is contributing, let's say ×2 whatever you're contributing, but you're moving to another company that don't do pension contributions or matching like that, then really you're actually losing money. And you should really, when doing your calculating of how much extra I'm going to get, you should be deducting that by the salary that they're offering you. In as much as you're not seeing this money right now, you're going to see it and you're going to need it in the future, and it's going to be very useful for you. Another thing to consider is stuff like healthcare benefits, stock options, share options with the company that you're currently with. If you get all of these kind of benefits now, but you're not going to get it somewhere else, then really, you know, try to monetize all of this. Try to put a quantity onto all of this and say, really, the difference in between what I'm gonna get extra is not as much as you would have thought. Make sure before you just switch over, see what benefits you're gonna forego by moving to another company. If that company has good benefits as well, then I mean, this point is a little bit void, but make sure you check first. Number 3, and in my opinion, these days, what is most valuable to me is the flexibility to work from home or remotely. Now, post-pandemic, guys, I don't know about you, but it's a must. For me, I already said, if you're not offering at least hybrid, and when I say hybrid, I mean maximum 2 days a week, please. It's not really on the roster for me. And to be fair, for me, it was also pre-pandemic. I actually used to work full-time from home pre-pandemic. Actually, my base location was my home. I know, I'm a spoiled project manager. It'd be getting like that. I also know now, if I'm a recruiter or another company wants to come and get me because, you know, I'll be doing my job well, I'll be doing all right, they better be offering, you know, work from home opportunities, because as far as I'm concerned, that translates to money as well. The time that I spent commuting, my happiness, because I don't like doing that, all of that is important. Consider that also when you're moving companies. If you're moving from somewhere that's super flexible, lets you pick your hours and you can work from home, to somewhere that's paying more, but you know, you're traveling into the office and all of these kind of things. Time is money, guys. I'm gonna say it one more time. Time is money. Think about the time you're gonna spend traveling there, the travel cost, all of this. Now deduct that from the salary increase and ask yourself, how much money am I actually getting extra? Think about it. Promotion opportunities is another thing to consider. When taking a new role, you can't just think now. You have to think future. You need to think your long-term goals. You need to think, okay, if I move to this new company, can I progress? That is something that ideally, to be fair, you should be asking in an interview process anyway. Like, I hear that I'm right here right now, but I'm already looking at the next stage. So what opportunities are there? If you're working in a place that you see people regularly getting promoted and see people getting these opportunities, and now you're moving somewhere else where, you know, no one is doing that, in as much as you may be on a higher salary when you move, you might actually be able to move a lot faster in the role and in the salary in the long term in your current role. I hope that makes sense. Definitely one to consider. Next is your personal circumstances and how empathetic the employer is to that. As you know, life be happening, life be lifing, and you might have dependents, you might have someone that suddenly falls ill, and you need to be able to act in a flexible way when those circumstances occur. And having an employer that is flexible with that is really, really helpful. So when you're considering moving because of shamanis, ask yourself, if something should mess up in my life right now, that new employer, are you going to support me? Anything can happen. No one knows tomorrow apart from God Almighty. Thank you. We need to just be prepared and be in an environment that is going to be empathetic and sympathetic to our circumstances. If that's where you are right now, don't take it for granted. I know it's not, you know, you can't see that in your hands, but believe me, that is more valuable than money sometimes. Having someone that won't just cut you off when something just goes slightly wrong. Or it might not even be in your personal circumstances. It might be you're on a project, something goes wrong. That employee that's able to support you and provide that support rather than just cutting you off and saying, yeah, we need to get you out. That's really important. Last but not least, in fact, definitely not least, because this one is important, guys. I need you to really, really, really consider before you move workplace, if them people gonna like you. I need you to really consider before you move workplace if you actually like the work and you like the company. I don't know how to explain this one, guys, but I'm going to try my best. I think the best way to describe this one is the devil you know is better than the angel you don't. You may be leaving somewhere for greater money and you're thinking, hey, and I can splash, I can pop bottles, I can do all of this thing, you know, I can get my manicure every 2 weeks, not every 5 weeks, because that struggle life ain't it. I get you. I don't want to be struggling with that either. But when you're in an environment where it's good, it's happy, you like what's going on, and now you're just moving somewhere for money, you do not know if you are just about to stroll up into the devil's playground. And I can guarantee you this, they ain't worth no amount of monies. People can be really horrible in the office. Management can be really horrible, and environments can be horrible. And sometimes being in such toxic environments is not worth the money extra that you may be getting. You really need to consider the kind of people that you're working with. If you know it's already a healthy environment, the people support you, your management supports you, now just go into an uncertain situation. You don't really know what's going on there, but if you've worked in a bad environment, you know how bad it can get. Now taking that risk to just roll over to another environment, all I'm gonna say, for me, that risk is like worth a lot of money. Like, it has to be worth a lot of money, because now you might be working ridiculous hours. Now you might be dealing with unreasonable people, horrible people, gossipers and all of that. And I personally, that's bad vibes. That will make me come home, despite I got all this money, I'm not even enjoying it. It's really not worth it. So make sure you consider that. Try to understand the culture of the company that you're potentially moving to as soon as possible, but also look at the value in the company that you're currently at. You may not be able to get that again. So before you decide to dip, make sure it's the right decision for you. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And do let me know down in the comments below, like, what are you saying? Would you just leave if you're just getting more money? I want to know. And also let me know how much, you know, it doesn't matter anything I've just said, how much is that price tag that you would just jump shit for? I would love to know that. Let's continue the conversation down in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one.